This tutorial video will explain how to add a camp or add an event through the admin dashboard. So once you've logged in, you can go to add event here in the right hand corner, and you can enter all of your camp details. You'll start with the name. You can choose the sport. Now you can add one of several different sports, which you're able to do here on the sports pages section. You can activate different sports within your camp, add a sport, and we have all of our preset sports here that you can add. For right now, we did football, but for the example here, I'll go ahead and add basketball as well. So now we have football and basketball. Again, if we wanted to add another, we could add another here. We'll go ahead and add bowling. But back to creating the actual events themselves. All your events that you create will be under events. And again, to add one, you'll click on add events. Let's choose football. Name, we'll say test camp 1. You can go ahead and put all your coach's contact information. So this is name, phone, email, etc. That all goes here. The event start date, what date the camp actually starts. Let's say that it starts here in March, and let's say it's a camp that goes through the weekend here, through a Sunday. You can list the hours here, example 8 to 5 p.m., 2 p.m. to dusk. It's an overnight camp. You can enter that information here. Total attendees here is important because this will set how many open seats there are. So if you know you have 100 seats available for your camp, you would set it at 100. And then every time somebody signs up for the camp, it's going to automatically track that and deduct it, so that when your completely seats are filled, then the camper that's trying to register will get a little message there that says, "Hey, this camp is full. Please check back." And that's how that works. And you can always go in this later and increase the amount of seats if you choose to do so. Say you reschedule to a bigger venue or something, you do that here. Here you list the information for the camp, where it's located. You can list some information in terms of the age of the camp attendees. Is it a camp for kids, a camp for adults, camps for teens, so on. You can set that here. Here you can display the actual age range. So if you have a limitation here, hey, only 12 through 14-year-olds can sign up for the camp, you would put that sort of disclaimer here. That would show up on the camp page itself. Here is where you can create the actual camp description, and you can basically type out any pieces of information you like to here. Use these tools here and add an image here if you like to. You can choose different fonts and such here. But this will be your camp description, camp itinerary, other information. Registration settings here, the age range, hidden from public view. That's if you just want to save this for your eyes only to see it first. You do that here. Waiver, we'll get into waivers, but you can hide a waiver, show a waiver. Ask for club information, ask for roommate preferences, ask for a t-shirt size. All of these things can be selected, and it will generate different questions that the campers are going to have to fill out. Instructions, so if they need to bring certain things, wear certain items, where to park, where to pick up, drop off. Event contact information, if they have any questions, who should they charge, or who should they call. The very bottom here, we have our pricing. So this is where we're able to basically say, I want to charge $45 for my camp here. And then obviously we have our fees that we'll take out. Say it's $5 a camp or a flat, 3%, something like that. That'll be calculated here. And then like we talked about the max seats here, you can always change that here as well as that other screen. Let's get back into waivers. So if you have waiver text that you've cleared through your legal team, you can add that in here, whether it's for a child, whether it's for an adult. You can say here by clicking waiver login needed that the person signing up for the camp has to actually create an account. That way they can verify their identity as somebody 18 or older or is actually eligible to sign the waiver. So you definitely want to click that if that's the case in a child's camp or teen camp. Upsell products. This is if you want to sell a t-shirt, you have extra goods you want to sell with the camp registration. So you could say, hey, sign up for the camp, it's $45, and this is for an extra t-shirt. And let's say you have different sizes here. You could go small, medium, large, XL. And that would be the versions of the product that I can buy. If you have a picture of it, you can simply upload it here. Price, you list the price of the shirt. Let's say $15.99 is reasonable. Purchase limit, you can only buy 2 per person, so we don't want to run out. And once you're done filling that out here, we can continue on. Custom questions. Are there any questions you want to ask your campers that have not been addressed so far? That's where this comes in handy. So let's say I want to know what your wingspan is. Let's say you're a basketball player and we're trying to figure out what position you play. You can do something like that. Position. And then again here, you could say I am a guard, I'm a forward, I'm a center, and so on. And then you can have that question asked as well. You can require it so they're not able to sign up for the camp unless they fill this out. And then you can order it. Like, I want this question to be first. Moving right along here, team registration. In a team registration, coaches register for the event, paying a deposit up front. We're actually going to go into team registration in a separate video because that one can get a little involved, and for the interest of not making this one too long, we'll go ahead and save that for another video. Tryouts and teams. This is if you wanted to engage in a tryout thing here. It's rarely used that there's a tryout section. So contact us, info@registrationelite.com, if you want to learn more about the tryout and teams part of this. More than likely you won't be using it though. But once you are done with all this information, you've made all your questions, you've generated all this information that we've just covered, you'll go ahead and click register event, and you will now have that camp active here, and you can start to send out that link to people, and they will be able to create an account and log into the account here. Thanks again, and if you have any other questions, please refer to our other video.